In this collection of Pokedex entries, we delve into the peculiar, heartstring-tugging, and downright bizarre tales of these beloved pocket monsters. From ghosts with identity crisis to sandcastles that'll give you more than just a tan. Get ready to explore the Pokemon universe like never before. Imagine drifting through the skies like a hot air balloon, thinking you stumbled upon the most adorable, peaceful Pokemon. Enter Drifblim. It's the cloud-floating cutie that's all fluff and innocence, right? Well, hold on to your hats because this balloon's got a twist. According to its Pokedex entry in Pokémon Sword, Drifblim is more than just a floating balloon. It's a floating balloon loaded with a collection of souls burdened with regret. Yep, you heard that right. It's like a paranormal hot air balloon ride of regret. And these souls are just wandering around, with no permanent destination in sight. Talk about an aimless afterlife. But wait. There's more. In the Ultramoon version, we learn that Drifblim isn't content with just being a sad cloud of souls. Nope, it's got a nefarious side too. When it starts deflating, it doesn't call for a refill. It goes full-on kidnapper mode. It snatches up other Pokemon and trainers, adding to their never-ending misery. It's like a creepy sky-high party that no one wants an invite to. So, the next time you see Drifblim floating by, enjoying a leisurely flight, remember, it's not all fluff and cuteness. It's a bittersweet, soul-collecting balloon that's as terrifying as it is oddly fascinating. Balloon rides will never be the same again. Number 9. Meet Hattrem, the Pokemon with a temper shorter than its tiny hat. This little mischief maker might not have reached its final form as the Forest Witch just yet, but don't let its size fool you. It's a real firecracker. You see, Hattrem has a unique way of dealing with its emotions. It's like a Pokemon version of an overreacting drama queen. Positive emotions? Oh no, they're as loud as a Charizard's roar to Hattrem's sensitive ears. But it's not just sunshines and rainbows that set this little hat wearer off. Hattrem doesn't discriminate when it comes to emotional outbursts. If you're a friend or a foe and you dare to express intense feelings around this pint-sized Pokemon, get ready for a wild ride. Hattrem will stop at nothing to bring back the peace and quiet it craves. And by nothing, I mean it will use its braids as weapons to permanently silence anyone who dares disrupt its serenity. So trainers, beware of this tiny hat-wearing troublemaker. It's not just a hat on its head. It's a warning sign that says handle with care or you might just lose your voice. Number 8. Beware the cuddly calamity waiting to happen in the world of Pokemon. Don't be fooled by its fluffy facade and those inviting outstretched arms. Bewear is a bear with a temper as pink as its fur, and it's not afraid to unleash the fury. Now, let's talk about its name. Bewear isn't just a clever play on words. It's a dire warning to all trainers. If you ever find yourself into Bewear's territory without an invitation, you're in for a wild ride. And by wild, I mean a bone-crushing, spine-tingling bear hug extravaganza. This pink powerhouse doesn't hold back when it decides to show its affection. Forget warm and fuzzy feelings. Bewear's hugs are more like bear-sized bear hugs. According to the Pokedex, Bewear has left a trail of victims who can attest to its deceptively dangerous and downright terrifying affectionate tendencies. So trainers, heed the warning. When you encounter Bewear, make sure to ask permission before entering its pink bear paradise, or you just might find yourself in the tightest, most unforgettable embrace of your life. Number 7. Let's talk about Banette, the Pokemon that turned from a cuddly plushie into a ghostly nightmare. With its curse-slinging skills and mega-evolving abilities, Banette is like the Jason of the Pokemon world. You can't escape its spooky clutches. But hold on to your Pokeballs because Banette has a tragic backstory. Banette, once a fluffy, huggable toy, got tossed away like yesterday's leftovers. And what did it do in response? It didn't just sulk. Oh no, it turned into a full-fledged Pokemon fueled by strong feelings of hatred. That's right, we're talking about a teddy bear's revenge story gone terribly wrong. Now, Banette roams the world on a mission. It's not searching for a treasure or fame. It's hunting down the kid that dared to toss it aside. And when it finds that little troublemaker, it's armed with vengeance that makes even the most vengeful ex-girlfriend look like a saint. So, beware of Banette, the Pokemon with a grudge as big as Stitches. It's out for revenge, armed with curses and a mega evolution, and it's ready to make its mark on the Pokemon world, one discarded plushie at a time. Number 6, Gengar, the grinning ghost that's the poster child for a Pokemon with style and sass. That smile might charm the masses, but don't be fooled. Gengar's got a dark side deeper than a hunter's shadow. Throughout Pokemon history, Gengar's reputation for mischief and cruelty has grown scarier than a late night visit to Lavender Town. But let's talk about those spine-chilling Pokedex entries. They've gone too spooky to downright bone-chilling over the generations. In the eerie world of Pokemon Moon, we learned that Gengar wasn't always a ghostly figure. Nope, it used to be a human. Now it's on a quest to find the perfect travel companion by, well, let's say, taking the lives of other humans. That's right, Gengar's idea of making friends is a bit extreme. And then there's Pokemon Sun, with an entry so ominous it could give even a ghastly goosebumps. With the entry stating there is no escaping it, give up. Talk about a straightforward and downright terrifying declaration. Gengar's the Pokemon equivalent of a relentless telemarketer. You can run, but you can't hide. So, when you see that mischievous grin on Gengar's face, remember, it's not just a smile, it's a warning, a promise, and a chilling reminder that in the world of Pokemon, darkness lurks even in the most unexpected places. Number 5. Ghost types. The Pokemon world's eternal mystery, wrapped up in a spooky enigma. Don't even get me started on Professor Oaks and his academic posse. They've got a knack for classifying just about anything as a Pokemon. Seriously, what's next? Classifying a random rock as Geodude's cousin? Take Yamask, for instance. It's the shadowy character that lugs around a mask like it's the latest fashion accessory. I mean, sure. We're in a world where creatures can breathe fire and shoot lightning from their cheeks, so why not masks, right? But then you dive into its Pokedex entry and it's like, hold up. According to Pokemon Black, each Yamask carries a mask that used to be its face when it was human. Yeah, you heard that right. It's like Pokemon's twisted version of a bad makeover show. And sometimes these Yamasks just gaze at their former faces and shed a tear. Talk about emotional baggage. But here's the kicker. What on earth happened to these unfortunate souls to turn them into Yamask instead of, say, Gengars? Were they all auditioning for a horror movie? Did they have a bizarre encounter of a runaway lawnmower? We'll probably never know, and frankly, we might be better off not knowing. Some mysteries are best left unsolved in the world of Pokemon. Number 4. Oh, Pokemon Sun and Moon, the game that decided to hit us with the most soul-crushingly depressing Pokedex entries ever, and Komala is no exception. It's like the Eeyore of the Pokemon world, perpetually asleep, and then Pokemon Sun drops this bombshell. It is born asleep and it dies asleep. All its movements are apparently no more than the result of its tossing and turning in its dreams. Seriously, can they make that any sadder? We've got a Pokemon that's like the Rip Van Winkle of the monster world, and not in a fun, wake up to a new world kind of way. No, Camilla just sleeps through it all, blissfully unaware of the chaos around it. It's like trying to get your grandpa to wake up from his Sunday afternoon nap. Mission impossible. But it makes you wonder, should we really be dragging Komala into battles? I mean, it's practically sleepwalking through its life, and we're like, hey buddy, can you fight that dragon? Then again, maybe Komala's never-ending dreamland is actually a better place than the Pokemon world, where reanimated humans duke it out for the amusement of the living. Who knows, maybe Komala's got it all figured out. Number 3, get ready to dig into the sandiest nightmare the Pokemon world has ever seen, Palossand. You might think a sandcastle Pokemon is all about fun in the sun, but this beach-loving critter has earned itself one heck of a spooky reputation. Pokémon Sword decided to give Palossand the nickname Beach Nightmare, and it's not for nothing. This sandy trickster doesn't just build sandcastles, it builds soul-sucking beachside horror stories. Yep, it's got a real appetite for the spooky stuff. When Palossand gets its sandy clutches on someone, it doesn't offer sunscreen and beach towels. Oh no, it goes straight for the soul-sipping maneuver. Victims get pulled under the sand faster than a seashell in a riptide, and their souls become Palossand's happy hour special. So, the next time you're at the beach, frolicking in the waves, soaking up the sun, keep an eye out for Palossand. Number 2, Phantump. The Pokemon that looks like a tree stump but has a hauntingly lonely side hustle as a matchmaker for lost souls. It's like the ghostly version of a wingman, but with a more sinister twist. You see, Phantump isn't your typical grass-type Pokemon. It's the result of the lost souls of children who met their untimely end in the forest. Talk about spooky origins. Phantump's on a quest for companionship, but it's not your average, can I be your friend kind of deal. Nope, Phantump goes all out, belting out cries that sound just like human children. And guess what? It's so convincing that it lures unexpected bystanders deep into the forest. The They follow that eerie voice like a moth to a flame. And guess what? They never return. It's like Pokemon's own twisted version of a Forest of No Return theme park. But here's the kicker. It's not just adults that fall for Phantump's spooky serenade. It could lure innocent kids to their doom too. You'll think it might want to avoid creating more lost souls like itself, but Phantump seems to have the more the merrier attitude about the whole situation. So next time you're wandering through a forest and you hear what seems like a child's voice calling out, remember, it might not be a friendly playdate you're expecting. It could be Phantump, the tree stump of terror, looking for its next victim, companion, match. The honorable mention, Cacturn, the Pokemon that's like the creepy older sibling of the playful cacti. Sure, they share a smile, but Cacturn takes it to a whole new level with its sinister scarecrow design and eyes that scream, I know your darkest secrets. While most of the Pokedex entries focus on Cacturn's nocturnal habits, it's the one from Pokemon Sapphire that'll send shivers down your spine. Picture this. You're wandering through the desert at night, minding your own business, when suddenly you spot Cacturn and its ragtag group of pals forming a welcoming committee. Sounds nice, right? Wrong. These desert-dwelling rascals have a not-so-warm welcome planned. They'll patiently wait for you to tire yourself out to the point of immobility. It's like a sinister game of who can outlast who, and spoiler alert, you're not gonna win. And while the entry conveniently stops there, other descriptions hint that exhaustion is Cacturn's idea of a comfy bedtime story, suggesting a rather torturous end for those who stumble into its territory unprepared. So, if you ever find yourself in a desert at night, remember to pack some energy drinks and comfy shoes. You're gonna need them to outrun Cacturn and its crew of nightmarish cacti. And number 1, Froslass, the Pokemon with the chill factor that will make you rethink your winter vacation plans. This frosty Phantump isn't your typical ice type. It's got some eerie tricks up its icy sleeves that will send shivers down your spine. First off, Froslass can whip up winds colder than your ex's heart with a mere breath. Yeah, you heard it right. -50 degrees Fahrenheit, colder than a Snorlax's snooze. But that's not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to why you should be cautious around this chilly critter. You see, Froslass isn't just an ice queen. It's got a seriously spooky backstory. Legend has it that it was born from the soul of a woman who met her icy end on a snowy mountain climb. Filled with loneliness and regret, Froslass has a particular taste for male victims. It freezes them, feasts on their souls, and decorates its frosty lair with their hollow bodies. It's like Martha Stewart meets the Twilight Zone. But wait, there's more. On stormy nights, Froslass takes a field trip to town, belting out cries for shelter from the blizzard. And whoever falls for its frigid charms ends up as the guest of honor in its icy abode. Consider a chilling lesson in hospitality. So next time you venture into the mountains, keep an eye out for Froslass. It's a one-of-a-kind Pokemon that's not just cold-hearted, it's downright ice-cold. And that's it for this video. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!